What you choose to focus on affects your whole life. And to show this, there's an exercise that Tony Robbins does. Let's do it right now. So look around your room or wherever you're located right now and pick out everything that is brown. Okay, so I'll give you a couple more seconds. Just everything you see that is brown. Now close your eyes and tell me everything you've seen that was green. Now open your eyes. Alright, so you could maybe list off a couple things that were green, but it's likely that you couldn't list very many, if any at all. And that just shows you that you get what you look for. Other examples of this, if you think someone is annoying, you will try your best to find annoyingness in them, even though they're maybe not annoying all the time. Or if you believe a task is super challenging, you'll try to find every difficult part of it and make it seem harder than it actually is. Or if you enter a room with a sort of victim mentality, that you're a poor communicator or bad at social skills, you'll be searching for a reason to feel like a victim. There is also this SCAR study that I came across. So people were given temporary people were given scars on their faces using makeup before attending some job interviews, but the scars were secretly removed before the interview. So I think the people who created the study told them that they were quickly adding more makeup to make the scars better, when in reality they were removing the scars. And despite having no scars at all and looking normal, the participants still reported feeling self-conscious and anxious. In other words, people's expectations about how they would be perceived affected their feelings and influenced their performance. They assumed that the interviewer was staring at their scar and judging them, even though there was no scar. For a more personal example, me and social skills. So I'm great at telling myself that I'm horrible at having a conversation with someone, and it's only recently that I've noticed myself constantly looking for proof of that. And because I'm constantly focused on my poor social skills, I'll unconsciously be looking for things to validate that belief. And as a final example of you get what you look for, listen to this video of a toy saying green needle. Now watch it again, but listen for the word brainstorm. And maybe you've seen that video before, but essentially it's the same video, but whatever word you expect to hear, you hear. But the first time I heard it, I was switching between green needle and brainstorm just by thinking about what I wanted to hear. Now, all that's great. Knowing that what you choose to focus on affects your way of thinking is cool, but how do you use that to your advantage? How do you stop assuming there's a massive scar on your face when there isn't one? And the simplest answer is to start reframing those thoughts into something more neutral. So let's say you catch yourself thinking, I always mess up when trying to talk to new people. Instead of accepting this thought, I'm thinking this way, so it must be true, ask yourself, is it really true that I always mess up? What about the times when I had good interactions? Then you can reframe it into something more helpful, like sometimes I feel nervous talking to new people, but I've had nice conversations before and I can learn to get better at it. Essentially, whenever you notice a negative thought, pause, analyse it and try and reframe it into something more neutral. Another practice is gratitude. So there's loads of studies around how being more grateful can, be beneficial. And I genuinely believe that having some form of gratitude practice can make you a happier person over time. Gratitude journaling is, the most common and probably the best place to start. But one thing I would recommend is don't just write, today I'm grateful, I went for a run. Instead, try to answer these 2 questions. This is important to me because, and this makes me feel. Apparently, it, cognitively and emotionally anchors it deeper. And basically that piece of gratitude just sticks around longer. And when I do answer those 2 questions, after saying what I'm grateful for, I actually do think it, sticks around in my head longer. Just like with all the negative things, if you're on the lookout for the positives, you'll just be more likely to find them. The more I write down about the things I'm grateful for, the more I'll be likely to be reminded of them just throughout my everyday life. So ask yourself, what negatives are you currently focusing on? And how could you reframe them into something that will actually help you move forward?